Hi, welcome back to my channel, Making It Make Sense. If it's your first time joining, thanks for joining. And if you've been here before, thanks for returning. So I had not planned on making this video. I didn't plan it out. But since I do have several setups in my home already, I did just want to go ahead and give examples of emergency heaters that I do and have done and still experimenting with over the past few years. So if you see my video from yesterday, I did go to the Dollar Tree and I was trying to find more, see if they had any more of these, and I wasn't able to find any of these, but they did have these. So what I'm going to do, well, I did a setup this morning. Well, I just kind of put this upside down and used it upside down and put the clay pot on top of it. And I did actually purchase two of these. And so this is one setup that I have, and this one is not as effective because, as you can see, there's like a bunch of space between the planter and the candle. So it would be much more effective if it was just like closer up, the way this could get hotter. But by there being so much airflow, it's really not getting too hot, which is fine because right now it's really not that cold. So I do have this on for dramatic effect. It's not really cold in here, and then plus I just took my bath and I didn't comb my hair before I got in the tub. I just kind of have a scarf on. I forgot a head wrap. So I just didn't want to offend anyone, so I just put this on. So it's just for dramatic effect, really. But like I was saying, I do have a thermometer, and this has several different modes. So I'm going to put it on room, not the room mode. I'm going to put it on surface temperature mode. I don't think you can see it. No, you can't. There's a surface temperature mode. So just to give you an example, like I said, for emergency situation, this would be a good emergency setup for you. And I know you think that it probably wouldn't provide enough heat, and it's not necessarily to make the room 100 degrees or anything, or even 85 degrees or whatever. It's just enough to put out enough heat in an emergency situation. For example, it may be the middle of the night and your power goes out in the middle of winter and you don't know when the power will be back on. So, I'm going to keep this set up here the whole winter for just emergency situations. That way, all I have to do is grab my matches, which for all of my setups, I do keep matches nearby. So, as I go around my place, I will show you that I do try to keep my matches handy. And I have several setups in my home. That way, I don't have to, if the power does go out, I don't have to try to find my emergency setup. And actually, I had a setup here, a different setup, and it was here since last winter. I used it a few times and I just kind of left it. But it was more messier and more things than this, but this is way simpler. So I'm gonna leave this here the whole winter just for emergency situations along with my mattress. So today I did want to play around with this because I've never tried this setup in particular, and because I feel there would be a lot of space, which there is, and I feel like it wouldn't be as effective, and it's really not. But I'm gonna walk around and show you different setups, and I don't think you're gonna be able to read the thermometer, but I will read it out for you. So right now this is reading 86.9. For the surface here is saying 88.9. So if you ever took temperature or something, an item, oh yeah, you can see it there. Oh, you do know that different spots, they do have different spots that read different temperatures. This one is saying 88. I'm going to go to the top here, and it's saying 93.9. And I'm going to do the surface of the candle is saying 91 degrees. So right now, this candle is not blowing as effective as it could be because I'm trying to hold my laptop so I can't really show you, but it's kind of like a dim because I have extra oil there that I need to pour out. I'm going to see if I can show you. So this setup is one of my homemade Crisco candles. What I did is I have my Dollar Tree candles and I just stuck a regular candle down up in here. But there's extra as it burns down. The wax and Crisco is gonna burn. And so whenever it does that, you kind of just pour it out. And then it should give you like a better flame. So you can already see there, you can't see the flame itself, but you can see the light. See the difference in how it was before and after. So that is going to give you like a much hotter reading. So even though there's a little space, it'll heat this up better. And this is, you can see it's not even that hot, but if it was like closer, it would provide more heat and it would be like these do get so hot that you can't touch them. So I will show you a different setup to where that I know it's too hot for me to touch. But like I said, this is a good setup for me. I'm okay with this setup for now because it's not, like I said, it's not like freezing cold. So like I said, I was just experimenting just to see how this setup would work. And I'm going to take you to another setup that I have. And I was going to take you to the bathroom, front bathroom, but my daughter went in there. So I'm going to go ahead and go to a different setup in the kitchen. And before I show you the setup, I will show you that I have fire extinguisher right here. So that's one precaution that you can take. Is to make sure you have a fire extinguisher. Well, I accidentally hit the stop button. But this setup is like a better setup. It's with the Dollar Tree basket that I just bought with the same candle and clay pot. So this flame is not the best flame right now. I'm gonna test it. Yeah, it's been going out. As you can see, there's some. Oh, okay, I see. There could have been a fire hazard. So that was just from the wick was high. I didn't cut it down. I didn't cut my candle down, and it's not that high right now. It would be hotter, but I didn't know that was doing that. So the flame was a little low. So we'll do this testing here, and then I'll come back later after I show you my other ones to show you how hot it is. It's not going to be that hot now because I didn't know that the flame head went down. Right now it's saying 94.1. And right here, see, you can see that it was hot because it's in 120.2. So the heat that was built up is still at the top there. So it does, like I say, that it will get hot. And this one setup is closer to the candle. So this clay pot is going to get hotter. So like I said, the top was reading, right now it's reading 130.6. And this is Fahrenheit. So they can get pretty hot. And right there it's saying 95.7. So I will come back. I didn't realize that the flame head went down. And that's something that I do when I have my setups. I do come back like every few minutes and I'll just kind of like check it as far as like a fire hazard to make sure that nothing is like catching fire or whatever. And this is one setup that I did show you on yesterday, and I did go ahead and try to set it up with both of my fans here. And like I said, this is like by a patio window, and at the top there's like a gap here. However they did the window, it leaves like a little gap. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just like a very small like gap, and when the wind blows you can feel like a draft coming in through there. So I kind of put that here to like help with the draft by the window. And They were, like I said, these were, well, this one was going faster a few minutes ago. I guess it's time for me to empty out my wax and oil that has burned down so that the flame can get back hotter and higher. That's reading 121.6 in the flame there. This one is only reading 85, so I don't know why this one is slower than this one, but it could also be because up under here there's probably been heat buildup. So I did add like a piece of foil there to kind of like act as a holder to hold the heat longer. Because if I felt like if it's going directly to the fan, it's just going to only get the heat that's going directly to the fan. And I know that the flame is not necessarily like a large flame. So I did like add foil. And also because there's like a little sensor at the bottom. And just so that the sensor is touching something so that the foil heats up, it will be touching that and hopefully helping to heat up the bottom surface of the fan as well. And just kind of like I said, just acting as a heat holder conductor to hold the heat. But I do have 3 candles, and I have one at the back, which is the candle's almost going out, so I'll just put it there just to add. Oh, and this one is saying high, so it's saying the temperature is so high that it's not going to even read it on that one. And that one is in a clay pot. And yeah, the clay pot is pretty warm. So even though that flame is like smaller than these flames, well, I guess the clay pot is holding the heat. And I kind of put this behind there, hoping that it would kind of just like bounce the heat off as it rises and just kind of bounce it back to the apparatus that I tried to set up. And I'm gonna the pan is only reading 75, so it's not really doing that good of a job. Let me just, the foil is saying 73, 81. Oh, the bottom of that fan is saying 102.6. And that one is saying 93. So as you can see, there's not a consistent like heat measurement there. But together, that's what I was hoping together it would put off enough heat just to help out with the draft by the windows. And it is time for me, like I said, to I don't know if you can see, but there's like a bunch of liquid down there. It will help my flames burn brighter and stronger. So in a few minutes, I will do that after I finish this video. My daughter is out the bathroom, so I'm gonna go ahead and here. And like over an hour, maybe an hour and a half ago, I did test this. This is in the front bathroom, my kids' bathroom, and it was reading 70 degrees when I started this candle. And like I said, it was about an hour and a half ago. Right now, it's reading 71.2. And I will show you, I do have like a large flame in here right now. So that's what I was saying, like in the bathroom, I usually would just have just like a regular candle. And this is a candle that I made so it doesn't burn that great. And you can see it went out. So that's why I did go ahead and put this in here with it. And this is my little Yuko lamp lantern. And it's supposed to be in here, but I took it off because this is like a homemade candle. And this flame is like really hot and high. So you can see there's a lot of black soot. Like I said, that will cause a fire. So I just went ahead and took it off. And this flame is really too high. So that's why I don't have it on there, because I don't want this to catch fire. Because the soot will build up in there. And as the flame is getting hot, it will like cause a fire. So I just went ahead and took it off. And I'm just going to let that burn down. And I did have to go ahead and pour some wax off earlier because as it melting, it's just kind of staying there. And I I made this and I put the wick too close to the edge. It's supposed to be in the middle also. You can't really see because of the flame, but it is kind of towards the side. And that's another reason I don't want to have it in here because I don't want it to like heat the glass up and break it. So I didn't like melt it down to where it's a little smaller. I made it where it's the exact fit in there. And the original candles that come in here, like they get, I guess you call it like tapered kind of. As you go to the top, it's like more like a pencil, how like a pencil lead does. Pencil is one size, and as you get to the top, it becomes like at a point it gets smaller. So that's how this is supposed to be. And when I made this candle, I didn't melt it down. I just kind of like left it in there. So it's kind of like fitting exactly into the whole thing. So yeah, just for it to be safer, it shouldn't be like this. But I kind of okay. That's kind of like left it like that to see. Hopefully, after this wick burns off, that's what I was hoping that the wick will burn off. And right now, this is reading 133 exactly. So, like I said, this would be like an emergency spot for us to come because it's very well insulated. Like we have to pick one room, just say for instance, it's 30 degrees in the middle of the night and the power goes out. This would be like one room that we could just go ahead and come in and I could just use even just like the one candle. And of course, I will leave the door cracked, which is what I did like now. I kind of just have the setup just for fire safety reasons. I just kind of crack and leave a crack in the door. That way, if there is a fire, I can smell it and as well as see it, hopefully before it gets out of hand. So I don't close this door all the way. But like I said, even just one candle in this bathroom does heat this bathroom up. And even if I have like two, like I did have that one, the smaller one, and it went out. So like if I know my candle is almost burned out, I will put two in here. That way when one goes out, the other one is still lit. But so let me check this temperature again in the room. It's in 70.9. And I think I said it was 70.2 just a few minutes ago. So I will keep checking back in a few minutes on that because it is kind of like burning higher than I would like it. And like I said, I was hoping as the wick burned down that the flame will go down more. So I just have to keep an eye on that one. Keep checking back every few minutes. And then this is another setup that I have used last year and I'm using again. Is with the clay pot as well. And I was hoping that the aluminum cans would help kind of like absorb the heat as well and just kind of add like more heat to the surface. And I do have like the little dish that goes to the planter. And I just kind of had it held up by cans. And actually, I only need two cans because the other cans are just in the way. They're not really doing anything. So just on the opposite end, this can and that can. These are the two cans that are holding it up, really. And that's just like an easy setup. And like I said, these do take like a minute to heat up. So it's not, you won't notice the difference like right away. So it will take like a couple hours for it to like build up. So I would just guess like maybe 1 degree per hour or something. It's not gonna heat up like instantly. But like I said, in an emergency situation, you don't know how long the electricity will be out. It'll be a great thing for you to use for like a small room, a small space. So I am gonna go ahead and test it, and this one should be pretty decent heat. So this probably give you like the most accurate reading out of all of my setups because it's been like a consistent fire. And I did start all these fires at the same time. So This is probably going to give you a more accurate example of how hot they can get. This one is saying 101.1. I'm going to do the top here, and it's saying 117.1, 102.7, 99.7, and that's saying 89.1. I'm trying to get like into the flame, but and that's saying 124.3. So, like I'm saying, this does get pretty hot, this setup, especially like if you're close to it. So maybe when you first started, you may, if it's like really freezing cold, you might want to like huddle around it. Just as long as there's like, you can't see any visible like black smoke, then you know it's like a pure burning candle. And this is just like a regular candle, that's the Crisco. So there's not too many nothing burning off. And then also, I have noticed that these clay pots are getting like different. To me, it's seeming like more weirder each year. They just haven't seemed like as dark as they usually are. They're just seeming like they're becoming a lighter color. So I don't know if they're trying to mix the ingredients to make it like cheaper on their end, just kind of like they're doing with every other kind of product. They're kind of like playing around to get the maximum profit. So that's one thing that you do want to be aware of as far as like it burning and heating up. So that's why, like I was saying, you do want to go ahead and get your CO2 smoke detectors, because even if you have a like a chemical free candle that doesn't put out a lot of chemicals or anything, like even just what you're using, you might not know, if there's something toxic or chemically going on. So just as far as you burning it, you would want to go ahead and keep your smoke detector, uh, fire extinguisher, and CO2 like nearby, just to make sure you're being as safe as possible. And like I'm saying, this is like a cheap, really cheap, like emergency thing. This is probably like the cheapest that you can get. You probably can figure out some other things, but this is just something that I have done and that I know that works. And I was just hoping that just showing it off, like I say, just for purposes of emergency, because I do feel like people like need to know as well as be safe, just the precautions and just ways to prevent just a really bad situation. Uh, just rather than like not being able to do anything and feel useless or hopeless, that you can keep you and your family safe until you can figure out a better situation. Just like I'm saying, this would even be like a neat camping situation. If you know you're going like camping over the weekend or whatever, you can go ahead and include this in your camping gear. Just get you a clay pot, get you a muffin pan, or another setup that I have. Get you some little tea light candles. And this is one of the first ones that I did do. Let's try like the tea light candles. And like this. This is a smaller one, but I guess if I had a bigger one, it will like will be big enough to go around like all of them. And so like this one, for instance, it probably would only be these two, but the bigger ones, it probably would cover, like I said, be big enough to fit here. So it'll be able to touch almost all of them. But just depending on what size you have, you can just put your little tea lights there. And like I said, some people do use this for like cooking as well as heat. So you can use that. You need to like boil water, for instance, or just like anything cook or stay warm. You'll be able to do this in emergency situation. And I don't have this one set up. This is one, like I said yesterday, I did show one where a soot can build up. So if you have some kind of setup and you see that the soot, don't let it get this bad, but if you see there's black smoke starting to build up, you do want to go ahead and try to like switch out your candles to a better candle if you have some, because the buildup will cause a fire. So whatever you're getting from your candle, you're not getting a clean burning candle. So the soot is just going to continue to build up. And this is the same thing that can happen in your fireplace, just without you cleaning, not cleaning it, just like over time, the soot just kind of builds up. And then when you start a fire, it'll get like so hot that it will like start a fire, catch on fire, and start a fire. But I usually have matches up here on my mantle as well as like over there. And I don't see them right now. I'm not gonna really look and make sure. And like I said, this was here from last year as well as this setup just stayed there like the whole year. Because I just didn't feel like putting it up for whatever reason. And I do also have just like another one of these lanterns, so I do use these also. And I did take this out to make more candles, and I just never put it back in. So, like besides my homemade setups, I do have two lanterns. This one, the one in my bathroom. I do plan on buying another one, hopefully this winter. But that's basically it. And back by this setup, I do have candles like right here. So, like I was saying, in emergency situations, I do try to keep my candles close by. So that way, if you're in the dark, the power goes out, you don't have to try to look around for your matches. And I should also have some right by this setup. They're just like really close by. And then also back to this front bathroom. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get this out or do something because it's getting out of control. But just again, close by. I did have matches here. And my kids must move them around. But I usually have matches close by in here. So I just have them just like all around the house. But I am gonna go because I'm gonna have to tend to this fire because it's getting a little too high and hot. So I'm gonna take care of that. And that's pretty much it. I think I went over everything. And like I said, even for just like a camping trip, I'm gonna go ahead and put this out. I have to come back and fix that later. But like I was saying, even just for like a camping trip, even if you have a generator and or like a buddy heater, you can easily just like go to the Dollar Tree and just grab you, maybe one or two of these. Go to Walmart or like your local home and garden section of whatever store, buy you two of these, and just anytime you go grocery shopping, buy you a couple of these, and just get you. The Dollar Tree has a whole pack of these for $1.25. You can easily just every time you go camping or on a trip, just kind of like throw it in your vehicle. And you do want to be careful with these because they do break easily. But you want to have it in somewhere that it won't be broken. So just kind of like pack it up nicely. But there are a good few items to take with you for like camping. Like I said, emergency situation. Because like I said, even if you're somewhere, you might think that you have enough fuel for your like propane tank. You might not. Uh, yeah, you might get stuck wherever you're camping for an extended more longer than you anticipated. So maybe you run out of your fuel and you need to do this simple setup, which won't cost you like anything extra, any extra fuel. Girl, or anything. But I was trying to give an example of situation where it would be like helpful or useful. Uh, and just like I said, just any emergency where your power goes out. Like I say, I do keep my setups around my house in case there's emergency. So I showed you when to at least three stations, like four that I have just set up And then, like I said, I do keep my mattress close by so that way I don't have to like be fumbling trying to find stuff. So that is another good tip, I guess, as long as you don't have kids. And like I said, this one is on top of my dresser. You can see it's like at the height of my head. So it's out of the reach of any small kids, as well as some of my other ones. Uh, they're out of her reach as long as she doesn't like get a chair or something to climb on. So just like even today, I have like a stool that she does like to climb on. So even when I went to take my bath, I just kind of put the stool away so that she wouldn't be trying to climb on anything to mess with it. But yeah, you do want to take extra precautions besides just the fire hazards if you have small kids, just to kind of like keep the matches out of reach, and as well as the your setups. And then besides the fact of the fire, that these do easily break. So you just want to make sure you don't have them where your kids can reach them. And another thing is, like if another reason why I'm okay with this being so not so close is because they can like heat up, and if they have a small crack or something, they can crack and explode. So that's kind of why I'm okay with it being like a big gap in there, because some of the closer setups, like there may be like a smallest tiny crack. If it's your first time using it, you might not be able to see it. But just from it being like heat up and getting hot, it could just like go ahead and crack and explode too. So that's why I did. This one is a newly purchased one, so that's kind of why I do. Like I said, I have it. Like I'm okay with it being like this far because I just wanted to make sure that. And then I did check to make sure there's no like soot building up, like smoke in there as well. So there's just a few other things to like take note of as far as safety precautions. But that's it. I didn't plan on doing this video, but since I had all my setups going and I am experimenting, I did just want to go ahead and show you just how uh, simple, easy, and just like a low cost emergency setup that you could do for your family. Because like I said, that is one of my biggest fears. It's just being able to make sure that I'm able to take care of my family in certain situations. Because, like I said, I do stay in Texas, and uh, I didn't have or know all of these techniques during that time for the Texas freeze. I kind of learned like afterwards. The only thing that I did know about was the Crisco candle. So I did have a bunch of those set up around the house. And if I knew how to use the clay pots, then I would have done that as well. But I'm sorry, my lips are dry. But I so that's why I do experiment now. So that way when the emergency situation arises, then I already know what to do and I already have my setups. So especially after I got pregnant and had my 2-year-old, kind of was like paranoid about just like being prepared. Cause I was like, oh no, I cannot go through the same freeze with such, a small baby. So, cause I was like, I'm able to say when I'm cold, my other kids are able to say, if they're cold or whatever, but like a baby, it's like you really can't tell other than them just like crying or whatever, but they're not able to like verbally tell you. So that is like one of my biggest fears, just being prepared for emergencies. So besides it being like cold, too cold, another one of my fears is just like not having food. So that is why I do try to like buy extra food, and I don't try to, because I do have like anxiety, and just to keep my anxiety down, I don't try to say, oh God, I need 7 years of food or I need 10 years. I just try to say, okay, every time I go to the store, I'm going to buy extra. So if I'm going for 1 can of soup, I'm going to go ahead and buy two or three. So that's just kind of like what I do, like, uh, I guess to ease my anxiety and just to help me be like, feel okay. with my fear is just to know that I am doing something. So, like I say, I don't keep track and say, oh, I got 6 months or 6 years or 3 years or 1 year, a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years. I don't try to like think in that terms. I just try to think as far as I have enough to get me through an emergency so I can figure out something else. So they kind of like help with my anxiety as well. Because, like I said, I don't try to think about, oh, I need 10 years, I need 7 years. Because they kind of like make you more anxious and it may make you like overspend your budget or overspend on emergency supplies when you need something now. Because I have done it in the past where I went over my budget for the month for emergency supplies. And then when it's time for me to have like regular food the rest of the month, I just like don't have it. So I have to go into my emergency supply. So that's why I said in one of my videos, I do try to kind of have like a set number in mind that I want to spend a month and try not to go over that limit. So like I said, over time I did learn to figure out ways how to expand or get more out of my budget. Like I said, for instance, going to Dollar Tree, even on Amazon, just put something in your cart and keep going back to look at the price until it's like low enough for you to be okay with, and things like that. And just buying things when they're on sale, going to food banks as well, when you can, and if you can. But that's it for now. Like I said, I didn't plan on coming on through this video, but I was like, well, I already got the setup, so I might as well go ahead because, like I say, it might like help someone. And as long as I know that I'm like helping reach somebody, then I feel okay about doing it. So I'm okay with looking silly with this hat on for like one video just to get the point across for, like I said, emergency. Because there might be someone with a small kid or they have grandkids or something. And like you had just like no idea, even though there are like tons of other YouTube videos. So you might be new to YouTube and I might be one of the, YouTubers, first YouTubers that you've ever heard of this. But like I say, I learned this from other YouTubers. So I'm just sharing what I learned because over the years I am experimenting and learning more. Like I say, I learned a few tips from my candles just from last year to this year. And I'm still experimenting and trying to learn. Also, I do know that there's like other things that are not like as makeshift. Like I showed my two lanterns that I have. But the thing with those is I have to keep ordering candles and or making my candles. So in the meantime, if I don't have any ready, I can just like use those, and to keep from using up those that I have, I can just do the setups that I have and just have like different options. So as long as I know different ways to do the same thing, get the same result, then that's pretty much basically all I'm trying to do is just learn multiple ways to do the same thing. That way, an emergency happens, I know more than one way to do something. And also, next week I do plan on working with my kids so that they can learn how to do this as well. Because, like, you never know, I could be away from home. They could be home alone, the power goes out or whatever. Or maybe an accident and I might not be home for a day or two. Something happens, they're home alone. And they just need to know how to, be able to like repair a candle. If they need more candles made, they can know how to do it themselves. And just do all the setups and safety precautions for themselves until, another adult is able to get to them. But that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video and find some useful tips. And I'll see you next time.